This week on the Unpopular Opinion Show.
You can't touch your balls with your elbow after draining it a few times. And
she busted my head open. Right. I just got to get the other one up.
That's what she said. You
have to do it over and over and over. We weren't abused or anything like that. But I remember that level of frustration and anger at an ex, I think is hilarious because I've lived through it. I've never shot at anybody.
I think you need to say clearly what happened.
Who gives a fuck?
I don't care if you personally hit Candace Owens and her stanky
cray-cray.
No good thing starts with, I was thinking about my ex.
He ain't learned his lesson. That's a brother ain't gonna learn shit.
I know this is gonna be unpopular and I don't care.
Let's keep this shit funky.
Welcome to the Unpopular Opinions Show. I'm T Storm, and as always, joined by my brother, my partner in crime, DJ Mike Swift. What's happening, bro?
What's going on, man? Some equipment upgrades in the world, I see. This is dope.
Equipment upgrades and products. What would you consider this?
Well, technically it's a mic flag, but I guess it would be paraphernalia. I don't know.
I'll go with it. We're not selling out, folks.
We're buying in.
We're buying in. Right, there you go. Like it, man. A week after Thanksgiving. Okay, for those who are watching, you can see that my arm is wrapped up. No, I didn't get burned. No, my wife didn't whoop my ass, at least not yet. On earlier episodes, I had talked about a titty growing on my elbow. It kept popping up, so it's fluid or whatever. Something called bursitis. Fluid kept filling a sac in my elbow. To know that you have a sac in your elbow is hilarious to me, but
it's better than having a sack on your elbow. Unless it's your sack, then
if it's your sack, that might be problematic. You can't touch your balls with your elbow. You're not supposed to. I don't think why am I trying? In any case.
And I just tried to. I was like, can I touch my balls with my elbow?
So in any case, after draining it a few times and This is not gonna go well. I see it.
I'm sorry. I have the sense of humor of a 12-year-old boy. So I apologize to everyone. Just
listen, that's what this is here for. This is what we're here for. But what you call it, shots? Not back shots. Cortisone shots. I got a couple of those cortisone shots in my elbow. And you only get but a couple of those, within a year. So doctor recommended to operate and remove the sac, and which is what they did after Thanksgiving. And so for the next week or so, I'm gonna have to. There's like a splint in here that's keeping me from moving my arm, from stretching, extending my arm. So I'm like
gotcha.
I got the John McCain going on. Rest in peace to John McCain. In case there's any fanatics on here that go, "You disrespected a hero." I'm just joking. McCain knew he knew this shit was funny. He knew this shit here. And I'm telling you, who you pointing at? You. I'm sorry. Okay, enough. But that's what my week was. That's what my week was like. How was your week, man?
My week was a little nuts, bro. It was
after talking about sex, his week was a little nuts. All right, let's go.
On the more serious side, a really good friend of mine told me they tested positive for COVID.
Oh wow.
Yeah, she's doing well.
Good.
Not hospitalized or anything, but she started feeling not good, and she was like, let me check. And it did turn out. So I was a little nervous about that. Still am.
Yeah.
And then another one of my very good friends, she started out as my a person at a place where I frequented. We'll put it that way because I don't want to out her too much. But
Gotcha.
we actually turned out to be real good friends, and she had a bit of a breakdown a few days ago. So that's where I was last night. For everybody listening, T texted me last night and said, "Hey man, what time you want to start?" And I was like, let's push that back later in the day because I'm absolutely wasted. And I couldn't figure out, I was so drunk, I couldn't figure out which wasted. It was I wanted to spell wasted right. I didn't want to say like my waist.
Waist. I just say either way, I just, congratulations. Enjoy yourself.
But then I was hanging out with her and kind of talking her off of a ledge, and she has been asking me for a few months now to do a relationship podcast. Yeah. And she came up with a really good name last night, and I was like, shit, I might actually have to do that because the name is so cool. But there ain't no more time. That's what I was telling her. I have no more time to add another thing. So I am considering it for sure. Maybe we make it a part of this show.
Okay. That could work.
And do some relationship advice. Because as much of a jackass as I am and I come off to be on the show, I actually do give a shit about people. And I can tell you, look, I can't tell you how to be in a successful relationship, but I can absolutely tell you how to avoid a shitty one. Because I've done a lot of shitty ones. So I got some experience with that.
Yeah, I can take it. As most of us do.
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, good deal. Good deal. Before we start, I was telling you before we started the show, my 4-year-old Tahir is an absolute hilarious character. He's at the point now, he's very intelligent kid. And because he's around nothing but adults, his brothers are both grown men at this point.
Right.
His vocabulary is not that of a 4-year-old. But he uses it. He's still trying to figure out how to use certain things. So it's just certain phrases. Today he said something about let's try a different angle. And I'm like, okay, but what does that mean? And he wasn't able to articulate. And I was trying to explain to him what actual angles mean so he can understand what the saying means.
Right.
He did as a 4-year-old would do and got bored with it and was on to the next thing. So that was that.
Did he use it right in the sentence though? I mean, within context when he said, let's try a different angle?
Not exactly. I mean, yes, but it had nothing to do with what we was talking about. So, like, okay, these muffins are good or whatever. Okay, let's try a new angle. So the television, right? What? Let's try a new angle. So Big Bird said this, excuse me? It was just completely like a different subject altogether. But what was hilarious to me the other day, he said, I forget what we were talking about, or if it was his brothers or whatever. And then he goes, yeah, I'm a bust their head open. I say, excuse me? Yeah, I'm a bust their head open. What do you mean? Like, like blow your mind? I said, okay, that's different than bust your head open, but I get where you're going with this. Okay. So had he been in a daycare somewhere and told the teacher,
you'd have to pick him up.
Johnny, I'm gonna bust Johnny head open. The teacher goes, wait, what did Johnny do?
Oh God. Oh,
I got some
absolutely love little people, man. They are just great.
Bust your head open. Wait till he figure out to the white meat. Wait till you figure that one out. That's gonna be it.
So my 11-year-old. So my son, happy belated birthday to my son. My son turned 15 last week.
Full on teenager. Okay.
Full on broody, 3 words of conversation, sleep all day and play video games, and wants to exist on a diet of cereal and corn dogs teenager, right?
Nice.
Like it's just all the way there. So I, was calling and talking to him, and you got 2 kids, you can't give one attention and not give the other one attention, right? So I talked to my daughter and I get her on.
That's not cool.
And
yeah. All right. Sorry.
What happened? Oh,
I
yeah.
said, no,
yeah.
you can't pay attention to one and not the other. All right. Or at least not while they're children. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your story. Continue.
Well, hell, when they're adults, you can ignore them both. Go fuck yourself becomes acceptable conversation at that point, right? So
once they hit 18, go fuck yourself on your birthday.
Happy birthday. Go fuck yourself. So I get on with my daughter and we're talking, and she goes, Dad, I learned a new song. You want to hear it? Or I got a new song or something about a song. It's just you want to hear it. And I was like, yeah. I'm thinking she's going to take out her phone and play a song. Mm-hmm. This joker pulls up in front of the piano and sits down, opens up sheet music, and starts just playing the goddamn piano.
Wow.
And And I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm a shitty father because I did not know you knew how to play the piano. Why have you not told me you know how to play the piano? She goes, I don't know. It wasn't a big deal. I was like, who taught you how to play the piano? She's like, I taught myself. And I'm
Really?
like, right. That face you just made was the face that I made. And she lifted up a book. Her mother played piano when she was a child and wanted to refresh. So she bought a piano for beginners book.
Okay.
Well, my daughter saw the book apparently at the beginning of COVID and said, I want to learn how to play the piano. So she got the book. She sat down in front of the piano and she taught herself how to play the piano.
Wow.
2 hands, pedals, the whole thing. She's doing the whole thing, dude. And my head is like,
yeah.
She busted my head open.
That's absolutely wonderful. Well, that's dope. What song did she play?
She played Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, obviously, is the easiest one. She was like, that one was easy. Then she played it was a couple of Christmas songs. And then one part of a classical piece that I'm familiar with, but I don't know the name of it right offhand. But she was just doing it. I was like,
dope.
All right, dog.
Well,
go for
that's
it.
Dope. Have
Make
it
it
doing
happen,
recitals
little
and stuff.
homie.
Yeah. That's fantastic.
Go ahead and become the next Alicia Keys so I can retire.
You know? Yeah, man. Oh, good shit. Good deal. Well, shoot. Now we have a musician to look to.
Right?
Oh man, that's dope. Okay. What we missed last week, because we were off for 1 week, everyone talked about was the exhibition fight between Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr.
Right.
At the last minute, I decided, okay, I'll buy the fight because I want to see this. I don't want to rely on YouTube to try to find the fight after the fact, even though it was kind of readily available. But whatever, I spent the money to get the fight and was thoroughly entertained by even all the undercards. Mike Tyson, Roy Jones Jr., someone described it as 50-year-old versions of themselves, but not as an insult. It was what you would imagine a excellent athlete staying in shape and doing and would be at 50.
Right.
They did good. I mean, I'm sure Tyson's knees is not what they were at 18. So there was no slipping punches, like dropping straight down and coming back up with that Haruken. What that didn't happen. But his whole like the way he moves, all that, like slipping punches, whoop whoop, like he's like a damn pendulum. That was in full effect. And I watched, Roy Jones Jr. get back to his no look jabs and pop and run out the way. All that he actually hung in there with Tyson. I don't think though.
Okay.
If they were at their prime, that Roy Jones would have had a chance the same way. What you think?
So I didn't see the fight. To be honest with you, I had forgotten when it was going to happen, and then I unplugged a little bit from the world and woke up the next day and was like, fuck, I missed the fight. But I didn't see the fight, but I agree. That drop and back up motion, right? And when we trained it, we would tie a rope from one end of the room to the other, and you drop under the rope, come back up on the other side, hit, right?
Yeah.
That is a fantastic tool to have in your bag of tricks when you're talking about fighting.
Right.
For him not to have that tool, it means a lot to his performance. Right. If you rewind back to in the prime and put the two in there, you got that tool, the tools he has, and the power that he generated from his punches. All he would have had to do is connect with Roy one good damn time, and that would have ended that.
Yeah, I mean, Roy was he wasn't. It wasn't easy, but I see
he's always been a hard to hit fighter.
Yeah, and he was definitely like because he was and he at one point, Mike Tyson. It looked like he switched to southpaw for a second. Like it was
okay.
He's equally dangerous with either hand, and Roy Jones after the fight said, "Man, them punches hurt. Like he's still a fucking wrecking ball." Hitting them in the body, you hear the shit go, like you hear the punches. But I mean, and Tyson got some good he got some good hits in. Surprisingly, everybody was looking for a knockout, and they got it, but not in the fight that you thought. It happened by way of ex-NBA star Nate Robinson. And with Snoop Dogg as the commentator.
Oh my God! Lord have mercy!
Caught him. That made the night. That was the knockout we were looking for that we didn't know we want to see. I mean, it was. Oh man! So if you didn't see this yet, Mike, you haven't seen the fight itself. You've seen the clips.
No, I've seen a ton of memes where people started doing the Nate challenge.
It's frozen. Uh-oh. Hello? All right, Mike is frozen. I don't know what happened. Hang on. There he is.
Technology upgrades. Isn't it great?
Mm-hmm. Another one.
Fuck the internet.
Like damn. What was his name? Vice President. What's the vice president's name? Clinton Gore. Damn you, Al Gore.
Yeah, that joker did take credit for the internet.
There you go. Man.
I just got to get the other one up.
That's what she said. All right.
Oh, boy.
Lord have mercy!
This is not going anywhere. Like I'm
Ever.
It will forever be a
That's
part.
right up there with that nigga crazy.
Yes. Oh man.
Someone in the meeting room will let you in.
Wow. Caught him.
Are
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. Got you.
screwed up my camera angle, but all right. Well, we're back in business. Damn internet.
It's my mom calling you now. Stand by. Let's see if we can pull mom in on this too. Hello, mother.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. You are live on Unpopular Opinion Show. Say hi to Mike.
Oh. Hi, Mike.
Hey, how you doing?
I always call y'all during the show. I'm sorry. I'm okay.
It's good.
I'm okay.
We were just talking about the Roy Jones Mike Tyson fight and the knockout.
Oh.
And the knockout we all saw. We didn't know we wanted. From Nate Robinson. Well, not from Nate. Courtesy
of
Nate Robinson.
Oh, let me think. Okay, that was last week. Let me see. I got to like rewind way back because so much has happened between last week. I almost forgot about that fight. But yeah, it was a good fight. Good. The guy who got knocked out, they should have ended the fight. He had got knocked down 3 times. It was a wrap. Like, doesn't the rules of boxing still apply? They don't know the rules?
I mean, they changed all the rules for this.
Change all the rules. What, you can keep knocking somebody down over and over again? It was only a 2-round fight.
Actually, the first time he got knocked down, he was actually out. The ref,
he was out.
The ref, he counted very slow for him, like to give him the benefit to get up. He was like 1, 100, 200, 300, 400, 2. Are you okay? You ready to? Yeah. Nate Robinson, he should not have been in there at all. But the comedy of the evening, we have to thank Snoop Dogg for this soundbite.
Oh my God! Lord have mercy.
That soundbite is not going anywhere.
No, I don't like him. He doesn't need to be anywhere near folks when they're commentating or fight. No. But it was funny. Yeah.
All right. I'm a jump. I'll call you back when we finish. Okay?
All right. I'm gonna call Kelly and talk to Talia.
All right, cool.
All right. Yeah, have a good show.
Hey,
Bye.
you too. Later.
Bye.
My another call. This is my brother. Hold on. Let me get calls. Hey, Al. This is my brother.
Yo, what up?
What's up? Hey, say what's up. Say what's up to Mike. We're actually are recording the Unpopular Opinions show right now, and you are on. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm a big fan. Peace, Mike. Mike Swift. What up, baby?
What's going on, man?
Ain't nothing, man. I really enjoy your show. I enjoy your perspectives. I enjoy listening to 2 intelligent, beautiful, healthy brothers kicking it about the issues of the day. And it's it's a gift, man. Really, really, really dig what y'all doing.
Thank you.
Appreciate that, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Who y'all cutting up today?
Oh, well. I'll let you guess.
Oh my God! Lord have mercy.
Nate Robinson getting knocked out.
Oh, shit. Man. Shit, that's 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So here's the funny thing about that knockout. So he posted something I thought that was really funny. Well, no, it wasn't funny. It was perspective. It was a clip from Friday, the scene where Ice Cube and John Witherspoon are talking. Pops is saying to him, "Hey, man, put the gun down. You put these up. This is all you needed. You know what I'm saying? You get knocked out, but you live to fight again. That's all you need, son."
Right.
And so from that perspective, okay, Nate, I see where you're going with it, but he was ill prepared.
Nate almost didn't get a chance to fight again, yo. He almost didn't get that chance, man.
Is he seriously trying to go pro? He's trying to box?
I mean, so I don't know Nate Robinson from NFL because they said he played football too. I don't know. Was he in NFL?
Oh, he ain't playing the pros, I don't believe.
Okay. So so NBA, they said he played football, I don't know where. And so now this is his thing, he's gonna box. He's trying to box now. He did not look like a boxer in there at all. He was just in.
He ain't throw one punch. He ain't do one move that looked like a boxing move.
Yo, he didn't slip nor duck any punch. So here's the funny thing. When I was about 5, when me and my cousin Nicole, her mom, Aunt Christina, my mother's sister, was scolding her about something. My Uncle Dwight that's her father. And Aunt Chris was scolding her about something. I remember this clear as day. They lived in Red Hood Projects in Brooklyn. And Nicole had did something and my aunt backhanded her. Quick, bop. She had the quick backhands. Bop, bop. Caught her 2 good times. And Nicole was standing there holding her mouth, and Aunt Chris walks away. And my Uncle Dwight is standing there, looks at her, and he goes, "What's the matter? You can't duck?" That's how I felt about Nate Robinson's performance. Nigga, can't you duck?
Yo, the shit is, right? Like, a bunch of us, like to play with the idea that, maybe I can box. You know what I mean? Get in there, I hit the pads a few times. Then you take it further. You get a gym, you get to a gym.
Right.
All right, you hit some pads, you learn a few things. Just the fundamentals. This is how I step. Boom. Yo, we all know that feeling like, maybe. Like,
I can do it.
You know what I mean? But that's at some point logic, something else kicks in. It's like, nah, man, that ain't really probably the step you should take. Somehow that missed him, but
yeah, because them punching bags don't hit back.
No,
right.
They don't. People don't stand there and let you hit them.
I don't think Mike saw the fight.
No. I haven't seen it. No.
Yo, it's just, some things it's just a cautionary tale. Like, the ambition ain't always the way to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. But anyway, I just want to shout y'all out real quick, man. I love what y'all doing. The show is gorgeous.
Thank you.
God bless what y'all doing.
Appreciate that, man. Thank you so much.
You know. All the way. All right, talk soon.
I hit you when I get done.
No doubt. All right.
Peace.
One.
My brother Elliot, ladies and gentlemen. So, yeah, man. I think
Look, give me permission to share, screen share.
Got it?
Damn it.
Oh. Did I get the wrong one?
I think I'm frozen again.
Nah, are you? Hello.
Yeah. There we go. Back in business.
All right.
So I was attempting to share my favorite meme from old dude getting knocked out.
Yeah. Sleep deeper and longer.
Oh, look, I love people because people are funny and they can be savages. Like, that's just savage.
Yeah. It's a shame. I don't know if this is going to work out. But Mike, you can in post. I have to have Mike drop this in there in post, but
singing the hymns. He's trying to get. Oh, Lord.
That's what he heard.
He powered down.
Powered down. Done.
Oh God, that's hilarious.
Or the meme from Bishop T.D. Jakes going, "Wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Get up from your slumber! Wake up!" He's preaching. wake up. And Nate Robinson still laid down. It's not a
look. If you've never been punched in the face, go get punched in the face before you decide you want to become a boxer.
I mean, I applaud him for pursuing and actually jumping in the ring and doing it. He just was not. So whoever gassed him up, he was not prepared.
He wasn't ready.
He was not prepared at all. He looked good. Some of the training videos I saw, but dude, none of that. It wasn't top of mind to execute.
So I can teach you how to throw a punch, right?
Right.
And I can teach you how to bob and weave and how to move your body. I can teach you all of that. But you have to do it over and over and over again to where it just becomes second nature. Right. That's what like Tyson and Roy Jones have done.
Exactly.
And Jake Paul to some degree. Jake Paul is not a noob to hopping in the ring with people. I'm familiar with him from YouTube because I spend way too much time on YouTube, but he's been knocked out a few times jumping in the ring with people he shouldn't jump in the ring with. But he's learned.
Yeah. I mean, and I guess that's what it takes to get, okay, maybe I should slip a punch next time. I don't know. But then some people have it and some people don't.
It's just that constant repetition. Jab, cross, jab, jab, cross, hook, jab, cross, uppercut, right? It's that constant repetition. Bob, hit, right? You just do that shit over and over and over and over again, and it just kind of becomes second nature. But without that, you revert to the old school when somebody pressures you.
So, listen, if he's going to continue on, hopefully he'll get better, and maybe this time next year we'll go. That was actually a good performance from Nate Robinson. I don't think he's going to jump back in the ring again, though.
I hope he doesn't.
Because I heard there was some mumblings. There was some mumblings that he wants a rematch. I'm like, you want another ass whooping? But never as a kid would I go, hey, Ma, I want a rematch. That first ass whooping wasn't enough.
So it's funny. It's funny you mentioned that, and my parents are watching this, or at least my dad is. He might show this next part to my mom. I used to get ass whoopings, right? Our parents believed in corporal punishment. We weren't abused or anything like that. But I remember you said it.
It was right. It was, there's the line that danced on it. You know what I mean? So, but continue.
A switch is okay. A coat hanger is not okay.
Coat hanger, no. If you got hit with a tire
while it was still attached to the car. But at a certain point, it stopped working on me. Right. I had decided, okay, I'm gonna get an ass whooping if I sneak out the house. It's worth it. So I would sneak out the house. I get caught. I get the ass whooping, and I'd be like, okay. And I'll never forget my mom just kind of looking at me one day and going, all right, you grown. And then I started having to pay for all my own shit. I should have just not let them know that the ass whooping wasn't bothering me no more. I had to get a job. I had to buy my own clothes, all that. She's like, you grown. You acting like a grown up? There you go.
Be grown. There you go. Word. Nah, that'd be the financial ass whooping takes place of the physical. You know what I mean?
And that one's still happening.
Still happens. It's like, okay, that's the lesson here. Physical ass whoopings, financial ass whoopings. Which would you rather have? I'll take the physical.
Speaking of ass whoopings, did you see the video of the councilwoman in Mississippi pistol whipping her ex-girlfriend's new fiance?
I did. I saw some of it. I read the story, some of the story on it, but I'm not when I saw it was a councilwoman and a black woman, I was like, oh, I can't. Come on, people.
So Mississippi Councilwoman Pauline Monley, Monley, she turned herself into police once this video was posted on Facebook. It was a confrontation in a parking lot. So the video only shows us like part of it. We don't see what led up to it. We don't see everything that happens after it. It's about 20 seconds. And I'll play that video for you in a second. But it was a confrontation in a parking lot between Pauline, her ex-girlfriend, and her new girlfriend's fiance. And it got crazy. So it's kind of funny. It's not funny. And then it's dangerous. So I'm gonna play the video and then I'll come back and we can touch on some of the good, bad, and the ugly from it. You will not get the audio T just because my computer setup hates you. All right, here we go.
This is the parking lot. And she's busting shots at her? Did she stop and pick up a shell? Is that what I'm... Wow. Here we go. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's...
So right here, she pops one shot. That was at her ex. And she was screaming, "You going to jail." Which leads me to believe something happened before she pulled out her gun from her purse and started chasing and shooting at her for her to say to the person, "You're going to jail."
Wow.
So that level of frustration and anger at an ex, I think is hilarious because I've lived through it. I've never shot at anybody and I've never pistol whipped anybody, but I've been that goddamn mad.
Yeah, that's crazy. So she turned herself in. What was the damn? She's a councilwoman, so she's gonna lose her job.
She was charged with domestic violence, simple assault, and discharging a firearm. The recipient of the pistol whipping and the ex both filed charges against her.
Wow.
A statement from the pistol whipped individual. What is her name? I keep calling her that. Let me just say her name. Lillian Martin. No, Lillian Martin is the ex.
Okay.
I don't know what the other individual's name is. So statement from Lillian Martin. "I'm scared. I'm still scared. I'm scared right now. And I mean, I've been in the military 20 something years and been in a war, but I've never been this scared."
She putting on.
I'm glad you said it because I'm tired of being the only dick on this show.
She putting on. That's yeah.
And that's what I thought.
As the kids would say, that's all cap. She capping big time. Yeah, look, I mean, she has to sell it. I get being scared that somebody shot at you, but she popped one shot and then, turned around. And to me, it didn't seem like she was trying to shoot her. It seemed like she was trying to... Well, no.
She was angry and trying to be and releasing her anger.
If you aim a gun at someone, you're trying to shoot them. If you aim it in the air, you're trying to warn them. But you're trying to shoot them, and there's no way around that. I mean, shit, there was a woman that went to jail for busting a shot in the air, a warning shot in the air. You think aiming a pistol at someone is not going to warn, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, yeah. That's where I was going next, right? Like that to me is the very serious part that should be addressed. That is absolutely poor gun usage. It is a horrible, horrible display. She should not have pulled her weapon. She absolutely shouldn't have pointed it and fired it in a parking lot because that bullet is going somewhere, right? It's going to hit something. Yep. So that was just horrible. And then to take the weapon, holding it,
and use it to hit somebody, you can hit that trigger again and pop off another shot. You could shoot yourself in the face. You could shoot somebody behind you. That was absolutely deplorable weapons handling. It's a perfect example of what not to do.
I mean, everybody don't need to have weapons. Everybody don't. I mean, as an owner myself, I understand, and maybe some people don't, but it is supposed to be the last resort. In fact, they train you always handle a pistol like it's loaded. Whether it's loaded or not, you always handle it like it's loaded, and you never put your finger on the trigger until you're ready to shoot.
That's it.
And street ethics will tell you, if you pull it out, you got to use it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying, you know what I'm saying? If it gets to that point, I'm not trying to warn you.
No.
We've gone past warning. So saying I wasn't trying to shoot him by aiming the gun and pulling the trigger. Pulling it out, aiming it, and pulling the trigger. That's, you've gone way past. Yeah, no, that's horrible. That's it's not gonna end well for her.
No. Oh, I think I found her lovely mugshot.
Oh boy.
Yeah, there we go. Let's put her on display here. There we go. There's Miss Pauline.
Oh man. So she got herself made up for a mugshot.
She did clean up a little bit for the mugshot. She knew it was going on the internet.
That's hilarious.
She wanted to look as good as she could for the memes.
Yeah. And she does. That's actually pretty good looking mugshot. Second to what was the criminal, the dude with the light eyes, light skinned dude that turned into a model.
Yeah, like what the fuck was that about? That said a lot about women. Said a lot about women. I'm like,
yo,
for real?
Man.
For real.
Well, I just sent you a link. I want you to pull up and play. So there is there is a clip going around featuring Dave Chapelle. And it's not the clip that you would imagine you would want to see, but when you see it, you get a little more insight to what was actually happening. So apparently Chapelle and some of his friends were at a hotel. I forget the name of the hotel, but I won't name it anyway. Having dinner, and some folks walked up to him without their mask.
Oh boy.
In his space, and they shoot him away. Later on, he walked over to them to kind of, I guess, to discuss what had happened or whatever the case. And they were videotaping him. Now so do you have the
I do.
He's and I don't know if you let me know if you've seen this clip already or not.
I have not seen this clip. I am not familiar with this at all.
All right, run in. You'll see
No
exactly
disrespect.
what I'm talking about.
No, he's right.
He's recording me. She's violating my personal space. Wait a minute, baby.
Shut the up.
My man. No, we're not doing that either.
He's trying to keep
We're
it
not
cool.
doing that either. We're not doing that either. Put your clothes back in. Put your clothes back in.
Come on.
My man.
Dude, go ahead.
My man. No, babe.
Hey,
No, I didn't tell him.
Babe.
I'm sitting right here.
Babe.
I'm sitting right here.
And so, even then, they're still videotaping him.
My man. We're not doing nothing.
Trying to get a come up off the situation.
Y'all come up to me.
We came up.
Are you still recording right now?
Bye.
Excuse me.
Take care.
Get up. Mo, so he's still recording right now.
No, he's not.
So ultimately, the folks get thrown out of the hotel.
I'm not.
Okay.
They're asked to leave the hotel.
Dude, I don't need y'all up in my space.
It just seemed like the ultimate white privilege, like they were the antagonizers, and then tried to play victim.
Hey, stop. Listen to me.
Oh, he came over here. That's hypocritical. They came over here without their mask on.
Yeah, we're leaving. We're leaving.
And Chad, that's his name,
We're leaving.
is carrying on. Oh, I got lawyers.
We're leaving.
I'm gonna do this and that.
If anyone wants to disrespect me, does anybody want to disrespect me, push me, anything?
Hey, listen, bro. Listen, you need to go right now.
Why?
Hey,
Because
He said something to the effect of, "Oh, this is what I do."
Who is this lady?
I think that's the she was with them.
Let's call the cops.
Okay.
So let's go.
There was a group, the other group.
Because you know what? I got an attorney that'll
Stop. Stop.
This is what I do.
You cannot videotape on property.
I don't care.
Babe, stop. Let's go.
Why are you escalating this, man?
Babe.
They're the one that came out here.
Yeah, they did put
They're
his
the one
hands
that
on
came
him.
out
They-
here.
They did put his hands on him.
Take care of them, bro.
Okay.
So, at first, like I said, your thoughts on it. This is your first time seeing that. Your thoughts on this?
I'm confused a little bit about what's happening.
Mhm.
So let me get this right.
Mhm.
They came up to Dave Chapelle,
Mhm.
and Dave was like, nah, bruh. You don't have a mask on. I don't,
Yeah. And they were eating dinner. I mean, he was whatever time, him and a private group of people were enjoying dinner, in a restaurant, in the hotel, whatever. And they
Right.
approached, and invaded his space without mask. He wasn't cool with it. Now, come on, now back up off me with that.
Right.
And when he goes back, when he goes to kind of calm the situation down, you can hear what's happening in the background, like he's screaming. He's trying to it seemed like he was trying to keep it cool. Now we're not gonna, you have to understand where I'm coming from here, and that wasn't what.
Yeah. So in the video, it looked like David walked up to him. He was trying to talk to him and explain or whatever, and they just kept flapping their gums. Sometimes I forget that this is audio and I will do a hand gesture.
You're right.
And like people are listening and they have no fucking idea what's going on, right? So,
right.
But they kept flapping their gums, and it just got to a point where there was going to be no reasonable conversation had. Now, the hotel, they threw them out because they were video recording, and you can't video record at the hotel. Because it sounded like that's what the guy who threw him out said.
I don't know that. I don't know if that was the reasoning or not. They may have thrown him out because they were being loud and obnoxious.
Fair enough.
And video recording and making a scene and all that. And we don't want that kind of drama happening right now. You guys got to leave.
So, to me, this is a perfect segue into the twerking story.
Mm-hmm.
Whether we like it or not, when you are in certain places in society, you have to behave a certain way. When you're at the Four Seasons, you can't behave like a fanboy because you see Dave Chapelle. You can't just run up on the man eating dinner, trying to get an autograph or a selfie or whatever. It's disrespectful as fuck, and it's not appropriate for that setting. Right?
Correct.
It's like asking a motherfucker for an autograph while at the urinal. You know what I mean?
Which we've heard comedians tell that story. I think Richard Pryor has a famous bit about it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, no, what's outrageous about that particular situation was, they had the nerve to get offended and play victim and try to call him, you're a hypocrite. You came over here without your mask. Well, if you really cared about masks, you'd have had your mask on before you walked over to me. Now we've been exposed to each other.
Right.
Now we've been exposed to each other. You've already come over here. I may have caught whatever you got. I'm coming over here to try to smooth the situation out and talk to you and say, and they'll later try to, I'm sure they'll try to sue Chapelle for something. And he was trying to prevent it from it even going that way, He's very well, aware of his surroundings. He's not a fan of being a celebrity.
Right.
On a couple of occasions, I've had the honor of meeting Chapelle backstage at Caroline's Comedy. I have one picture with him. And he came. Matter of fact, I had opened for D.L. Hughley at Caroline's. And so I had done my set and came in, and D.L. was on stage at the time, and he came. If you've ever been to Caroline's or Broadway, the acts and celebrities can enter through the kitchen. So he had came through the kitchen, so nobody out front saw him walk through. He was back in the green room, and I can see he got uncomfortable with the attention everyone, the other folks, probably me included, because I fanned out a little bit real quick. Hey, yo, can I get a picture? And he was gracious. He was like, yeah, sure. And I got to snap one picture with him. And, Dio wasn't there, and he was like, all right, well, I'm out. I'll catch him another time. And he bounced quickly. You know what I mean? So he strikes me as a person that does, he's very aware of, like, people try to videotape him and try to catch him doing certain, and he was, like he says on the video, hey, he's videotaping, she's videotaping, he was trying to, and they're trying to play victim, and they're going to try to sue him, and it's a shame. It's a terrible thing. We'll see how this pans out. I don't think it's going to be anything, detrimental to him, but it's just, you see the lengths some people go through to try to get fame.
God bless him.
But to your point, being appropriate in a space, we have the situation in Dallas. At that is in Dallas, correct, or Houston?
Yeah, it's Dallas, Texas.
In Dallas, a video clip of. I didn't even see the clip of the women dancing.
Oh, I saw the clip. And I'm trying to find it now, so I can play it. And if I don't find it, we'll just we'll link to it.
Yeah. The owner of this restaurant walks out and gives a very passionate speech. You have the audio? You have the clip?
I'm waiting for pre-roll video to finish, sir. Before I can tell if I actually have it or not. Unmute.
Bear with us, folks.
No, sorry. One more pre-roll video. Look, I get it. You got to make your money, but damn. Yeah.
Okay.
No, this is not it. Where is it? I just became victim of clickbait.
Gotcha.
Got me.
Oh my God! Lord have mercy.
That works for everything. All right, folks, bear with us.
So this gentleman, it's the name of the restaurant is True Kitchen and Cocktails.
I have the audio.
He built the restaurant. I want to say he was open for a year, 2 years. He hasn't been open very long. This is a high class establishment. It's not, this isn't Applebee's. This isn't, TGI Fridays.
Right.
And it's on some excellence type shit.
Right.
DJ is in the spot playing music. A group of girls, I think they got up and started dancing and twerking or whatever, and they were asked to stop, and they stopped.
Mm-hmm.
And then they started back again, but this time they're standing on the furniture, twerking.
Like getting the club, twerking, shaking against the glass, and that brother walked out and said this.
I invested a lot of money into buying this building, into developing this concept, so black people can have somewhere nice to go to, okay? Somewhere where we can feel good about ourselves as a, come on, stop the music, please. Somewhere where our people can feel good about ourselves as a culture, okay? Yeah. No, real talk. And so all this twerking and shit, take it to Prime, take it to Pink, don't bring it here because we're a restaurant. And so beyond that, 75% of my customers are ladies. And I want men to show respect for themselves for how they carry themselves here. So how can I tell the men to respect themselves and you guys are twerking on glass here? If you want to do it, get the fuck out my restaurant. Because I did it for our people and I did it for our culture. So don't do it now. Don't do it again. I don't want to hear it. If you don't like it, get out because I don't need your money. I need to provide something for my people. And don't do it again. Thank you.
And he walks away. And Mike applauds it. Well,
I don't see nothing wrong with what he said.
I take a little issue with it.
Okay.
Well, and I get his sentiment, you know, and as the old saying goes, good intentions, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. His intentions and the sentiment, I completely get. But as a business owner, as a restaurant, you know, you want to treat your customers with a certain level of respect. And if this is a high-class restaurant, you never say, get the fuck out. I mean, you're supposed to exude and show it, be an example of what this high class is supposed to be. Because he didn't just say it to them, he said it to the entire restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
So while, okay, yes, I get he was not, it was not pleased about these women standing on this furniture, shaking their ass to the music. I mean, for one, that's inappropriate in a restaurant. You would not, even if you were at Applebee's, you don't see nobody standing on the chair shaking their ass because their favorite song came on, because City Girls came on. Oh, this is my shit. And no, that doesn't happen. If your child did it, you'd pop them in the head. Like, what are you doing? So as an, you know, so I the conversation I had with my son about this was, I leads me to believe that these chicks were classless, like classless chicks that they ain't never really been nowhere, don't know how to act nowhere when they go out, and this is what they were, you know, trying to, you know, they were enjoying themselves just a bit much, and the brother came out like they daddy. He was talking to them like they were children. And as I said, as a business owner, you never want to do that. You don't want to talk down to your customers. You don't want to. And like I said, he didn't say it to just them. He said it to the entire restaurant. So I had to take a little problem with that.
There are a couple of things that come to mind. Mm-hmm. The first is this cat on YouTube that I watch a lot. He's funny, but he's not humorous. Like, just some of the shit he says is just funny. Mm-hmm. And he has a term that he uses, and I have to give him credit for it because I didn't want to do it and somebody be like, oh, that's funny. I mean, I stole the shit. Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews is the name of his channel, MTR. Okay. Mm-hmm. And he has a phrase that he uses for men and women who exhibit that type of behavior. He calls them hood boogers.
I gotta applaud that one. Hood boogers, yes.
So they were hood boogers doing hood boogery thing in a not hood booger establishment. I'm kind of with you. Probably an error in judgment for him to do what he did the way he did it. I still stand behind why he did it, and I don't take as much issue with him saying it to the whole room, and here's why. My mother used to say to me when I was a kid, a hurt dog always holler. The people who were offended by what he said are the people he don't want there. The people who saw themselves being chastised and feeling victimized by his rhetoric Those are the people he don't want there. The people who ain't have nothing to do with it and who ain't gonna never stand on furniture and who was happy because they want to enjoy their steak tartare or what the fuck ever without an ass shaking 3 feet away from them. They'll be back.
There was another restaurant that separated, that discontinued their relationship with him after this, but I think there was issues already. This situation didn't help,
right?
them, but yeah. I mean, I like I said again, I get it. I get the sentiment. I get the intention, and I get why he did it. I also get that he was frustrated as well.
Because them didn't look like no cheap chairs.
Yeah. You know, I get he's like, yo, come on, y'all. And disappointed at how how they were portraying themselves, right?
Yeah.
But again, listen, I'm nowhere near perfect, but I've always tried to, especially even when talking with my own children, mind my words. When I'm arguing with my wife, when we do have arguments, she always wins. But when I do argue, if we're having a disagreement of some sort, to mind my words, to be conscious, not to let how passionate I am about what's take over and me blurt out and say something that I, will regret later. This is what happened to him. You know what I mean? You don't want to say to your kid, damn, I don't even know why you here.
You little fucking cum stain.
Because you're gonna live to regret that statement in 10 minutes. You'll walk away like, damn, I shouldn't have said that. And I'm sure, and he did admit that he shouldn't have said that. He did admit regret for the choice of words, but not for what he said.
I freely admit I have a hard time with what you just said. Right? Yeah. That not letting the passion overtake me. Mm-hmm. If I don't care about something, I won't even care to talk about it. Gotcha. But if it's something I'm passionate about and something I care about, my mouth, in those situations, my mouth has gotten me in trouble a lot. And I'll never forget when my homeboy, his wife was pregnant, and she was, you've had pregnant women around you, the hormones and stuff, and it's rough, and she was putting him through the paces. And I called him one day and I could hear it in his voice, and I was like, I'm on my way. Hopped in the car, went and picked him up, took him to the bar. And then I told him a story about when my kid's mother was pregnant, and we were standing in the kitchen. I got to put on my tap dance shoes. We had a disagreement over prenatal care. Okay. There we go. And I said some fucked up shit. I meant what I said, but how I said it was awful. And I told him this story, and I said, dude, what I learned, and I'm going to impart this advice to you. Don't ever say something you can't take back.
Yeah.
Because once it leaves your mouth, she will never forget it. Mm-hmm. We are 11 years removed from that happening in the kitchen. That story. Mm-hmm. My kid's mother still remembers those words. And I feel bad about it every time she brings it up.
Wow.
So,
yeah,
I'm with you. I get it. He could have done that better for sure.
Absolutely. Because, there's going to be customers, even if they agree with him, that goes, yeah, I can't even. It's going to leave.
I think it will break down into 3 camps. It'll be the camp of people who say, I agree 100% with what you say, and I'm always going to eat here. The camp of people who say, you was dead ass wrong, I'm never eating here again. And then the camp of people who say, I agree with you, but how you did that was fucked up. I'm not coming back.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I wish the brother success, you know. I think he learned from that. I don't think he'll ever do that again. And I think he may have opened the door for a lot of hood boogers just to flood his joint now.
Listen, we don't want to offend the hood boogers. I know a few. I'm one myself. I'm
That's what I was like. I'm one.
You know, so nothing against hood boogers out there. You know, at some point, you refine. Somewhat.
You know, it's funny you say that. I don't remember who I was talking to. It was a young person because I like to preach to young people, but at a certain point, you get shit to lose.
Yeah.
And it's like,
exactly.
Once you have something to lose, it's like, is it worth it to get mad at this dude because he stepped on my shoes? Right? He stepped on my shoes. Whatever.
Right.
You know, it's just certain stuff. When you start balancing against losing your freedom, losing your livelihood, not being able to provide for your family, it's like, whatever.
You let it slide. You learn to let the small shit slide, even if it's big shit. Again, if it's not absolutely necessary to engage, don't.
Then don't.
Try your best. Try not to. I'm still working on that myself, but at the same time, I ain't gonna do nothing stupid.
No.
You know what I mean?
It's not worth it.
Yeah.
So we missed a lot when we were off.
Mm.
Lena Waithe. You familiar with Lena Waithe?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Writer, director.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know. Okay. Which situation are you referring to? Because I know of her marital bliss.
Or lack thereof.
You see, that shit was quick.
Oh my God! Lord have mercy.
I'm gonna put up a picture that will fit that soundbite. We'll put up a couple of pictures here. That is not Lena Waithe.
No, is that her wife?
That is not her wife. That is her side piece.
Nice. I respect that she has a side piece fighting for the main.
Her wife does not respect that she has a side piece. And one that looks like that. Hold on, here's another one. There we go. Boop.
That's the side piece?
That's the side piece.
All right.
She looked like she would whoop my ass.
Yeah.
She got
very
guns.
Strong. Very strong in the face and arm area.
Yeah. Yeah. And I promise people we're going to actually tell the story here in a second, but I want to display all of the people involved so we can get a good sense of what these faces look like. This is the wife. Nice, cute girl. Very cute
pretty.
girl. Yeah, very pretty.
Now she was on, okay, so she got married. They got Lena and her wife married last year sometime, I believe. Was in 2019? Is that correct?
It was revealed in 2019, actually November 2019, that they were married. So we don't know exactly when they got married. It was probably that month. But I think she was on like Ellen or something, and she was like, yeah, I'm married. And people was like, oh, word, okay.
Mm-hmm.
According to court documents, Lena Waithe's wife, Elena Mayo, that's the young lady we just showed, has filed for divorce 10 months after the couple announced their separation. She filed a petition for divorce in Los Angeles. Ooh. I wonder if the courts are going to beat up on Lena the way they would beat up on a man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They absolutely, I mean, and why not?
They dated for 3 years before secretly tying the knot. In January 2020, Lena and Elena chose to go their separate ways just 2 months after they announced they were married. Separation came amid reports that Lena cheated with the very physically fit young woman that we showed you earlier. Reports surfaced that she was allegedly dating Cynthia Erivo. That's the same lady who is an actress and a very good actress. She played Harriet Tubman in the film Harriet.
Yes. Okay. She did this to me. Okay.
Award-winning boss player type actress. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Serious type actress. So she's real good. I went and I fell down my research rabbit hole.
Okay.
Oh, and let's show you who Lena Waithe is, because I keep saying the name and people are like, I don't know who that is, but
I think people. She
is like one of the Hollywood women, black people right now. Actress, director. She was in Ready Player One and a bunch of other stuff. I love her work.
She's behind the series The Chi, correct?
Yes, she directed. I think she either directed or produced it. The Chi produced The Chi. So I went and I was looking at pictures of the happy couple. And I'm just going to run through a few pictures. And I want you to notice the body language.
Yeah, I was thinking for them to separate 2 months after announcing they were married, that there were some issues 2 months prior.
Exactly. Look at the body language here.
All right, what are you picking up? Because
what I'm picking up from this picture is Lena she went and got this nice little young cutie, and this is my arm candy. Right? It feels like possession. This photo feels like possession to me.
Got you.
All right. Let's go to shot number 2. There's got to be a faster way to screen share.
Yeah.
Come on.
Might not be in
shot number 2.
Okay.
Look at her face.
She's grabbing about a booty.
But look at her face.
Oh, the facial. Oh yeah.
The problem at this point when this picture was taken, the problems had already begun. She looking like, don't put your mouth on me. You had your mouth on that other bitch.
For purposes of the camera, all right. Yeah. But to your point, Lena's body language is like, nah, you mine, because
hand placement.
Yes, the hand placement is like, nah, this here is mine.
Yep.
Got it.
All right.
Okay.
Do I have another one? Oh, that's the same one, just a better quality. And then this one looks a little playful. Right?
That's the same. Okay, that's the same day.
Same day. She looks like, the wife looks like, oh, I think I remember why I fell in love with her.
Okay.
Right? Lena looks like, yeah, I got this bitch.
It's still what this here is mine. You better love me.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna do no better.
You ain't coming up on that.
Where you going?
The wife works behind the camera. I think she's like production assistant or something on a bunch of projects or whatever. She's a cutie pie. She's an absolute cutie pie.
Yeah. Well, listen. Equal rights, right?
Yeah.
She has absolutely the same right to be as happy or as miserable as anyone else. and inherit the same type of, marital issues as any married couple in any case. So
God bless them both.
Yeah. But that was quick. that was
She
quick.
about to lose a whole bunch of money for 2 months of marriage.
Boy. Yeah. Speaking of marriage, we'll touch on this real quick. I think you're familiar with this clip. I'm not familiar with this brother at all. But I had seen this floating around. Brother doing a podcast.
I'm very familiar with this brother. Mr. Kevin Samuels.
Okay. And so apparently a young lady, and I use that term loosely, young lady of, woman of a certain age.
And so would he.
Right. Woman of a certain age called into his show and was talking to him about what kind of man she wants. She said something to the effect of that she wants a man that makes six figures. And he was trying to, she had apparently had revealed that she has a child, 13 years. And she makes a certain amount of money. She's, been making some money for for a few years now. And what's brother Kenneth? He's letting her know, my sister, you out your league right now. You don't know nobody in that range that you're talking about. You don't know no men in that money bracket. He calls them quality men.
High value or high quality males.
High quality.
He talks about.
Right. And it gets, he's like, don't make me say it, sister. I'll let you hear. I'm gonna pick it up somewhere 5 minutes into the clip that I have, but
I mean, you want knocking on your door trying to find you.
She seems in denial a little bit.
See, what we've done in this country, this world, is we've told women like yourself that you can have it all, and you got a Prince Charming who's 6 foot, 6 feet tall, 6-figure income, jawline, all this other kind of stuff. And I'm sorry, man. No. Most people get average people, especially average people. And you're an average person. I mean, let's be real. You're not running Microsoft. You got a pet grooming business. You've been making 6 figures for the last 3 years. Okay. But if I looked at you and I took all that off of you, all the eyelashes and all the hair, what do you look like under there?
I mean, I look the same.
No, you don't. Because if you did, you wouldn't have all that on.
I'm sorry?
No, you don't. You don't look the same because if you did, you wouldn't have all that on.
So what is your advice for women that...
All right, I'll tell you my advice, man, because you're not listening to me. This is why I always recommend you need therapy. Because you seem like a sweet woman, but you're not getting it.
You're being so mean.
I'm not being, don't tell me I'm being mean. I'm about to be mean. I get tired of you broads telling me I'm being mean because you cannot handle the goddamn truth. You called my show on a day that you ain't even supposed to be here. And I honored the call and sat here and tried to help you. And I'm telling me I'm being mean. Get the fuck out of my phone. Tired of y'all doing this shit.
All right, so let's give it some context. Kevin Samuels is, he spent a considerable amount of time in the corporate realm as a marketer, professional marketer, marketing brands and that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. He was married, went through a divorce, following the divorce, or I don't know when he started establishing his YouTube presence. I don't know if it was before or after the divorce, but he started establishing his YouTube presence as a image consultant.
Okay.
So he's the guy. And if you see the video, you look at the video, and I'll link that particular video below. He's always clean. He's the guy who wears a suit and a tie every day. He's about fragrances. Okay. He's about proper jewelry, proper frames and glasses, how to match clothes. So he does a lot of videos on that, teaching people, but more specifically men, how to elevate their game, how to elevate their individual and personal brand. So he's extremely knowledgeable and great at that.
Got it.
I don't know what happened that the world pulled him into becoming a relationship person. I think he's on YouTube every night or several nights a week for like 2 hours live, taking calls like that for these women looking for high value men. So one of the things that he tries to get them to understand, what he was trying to get the young lady to understand, is that a man making high six figures, first off, those men represent a very small percentage of the available men out there to date. It's a small number, like 3% or something like that are high earners. Mm-hmm. Those type of men, they don't care about your education. They don't care about how much money you make. They care about what you look like, how you carry yourself, and what you can provide to him, what you bring to the table. So the common notion of what he runs into and what he was running into with that lady is that women nowadays think they are the table. Just because they exist, that a high value man, a high earning man is supposed to just pluck them in and take them. And what he tries to get the women to understand is, sweetheart, you're 33, a single mom. I saw the woman, she was in the video. Mm-hmm. You're mildly attractive, you know.
He called her average at best. How he described it.
He was right.
Sketchy baby daddy, as he described it.
You're in competition with the 20-something-year-old, tight body, beautiful, all put together girl. Like, find a nice guy at your level. Stop turning away the guy who makes $60,000, $50,000, $70,000 a year, who's going to treat you good and be good to you, who's going to marry you and father your children. Look at those men as valuable options, which is what he tries to get women to understand. But look, the thing, the 80-20, 80% of the women want 20% of the men. Right? So I've seen him do worse than that clip.
Okay. Wow.
He is a savage. He's savage with it. But it's entertaining. It's interesting to watch. And it's honestly some good stuff in there for women if they can get past the Disney notion of the Prince Charming. It's some good stuff that he's telling them.
Well, I would say, like, if I can add for high earners that's looking for younger women or whatever the case, history kind of tell you those relationships, marriage, whatever, don't last anyway. Mm-mm. They don't last. These are not forever relationships. These are for now. I don't if they have kids or not, whatever the case, and she, goes away with, some decent spousal support and child support, and and he goes and gets another younger one.
I am not. I agree with you. I am not, and I know this is just for me personally. I'm not the guy who has to have the prettiest girl, right? That's never been my thing. I like the person that I can deal with, the person I can get along with. You get a lot of points from me for being funny, for not being bossy and demanding, not being entitled. You could be absolutely stunning, but if you're entitled, I'm like, nope, get away from me. Nope. So I think when he speaks on that, and when a lot of the red pill, because I would classify him as red pill. Okay. Some people would classify him as purple pill because he still talks about marriage and people actually getting married. But when you hear a lot of the red pill kind of channels and dudes talk, they're coming from a straight physical standpoint, right? Tight butt, great legs, great tits, nice hair, good face, right? That's just not my thing. That's not my thing. But I mean, I think a lot of what he says is right. And I think some of the women they'll do good to listen, but they get mad. Boy, they be getting in their feelings. It's one, and I encourage everybody to go and watch it. Yeah, so he has a drop, kind of like how you have the Oh Lord drop. He has a drop that he runs, and it says, "I'm a PhD." And I would hear him run the drop, and I was like, what? Right, that face you made. I finally heard the show. He got on a call with a woman who was talking about, she was trying to call him out and tell him he was wrong about some shit. And he was really kind of breaking her argument all the way down. And he asked her a question. I think he asked her, what do you look like? Because he will always ask, on a scale of 1 to 10, what do you rate yourself after you wake up and you can't use 7?
Why is I heard him say that? Like, what is that even? Why does 7?
Because it's a
not
throwaway.
That number?
It's a throwaway.
It's a what?
It's a throwaway.
7 is a throwaway.
Oh, the camera went down. I think I either lost battery or power on camera 1. So we'll just pick it up from this other angle. But I think it's 7 is a throwaway. Everybody would say 7, right? Okay. I think he classifies Beyonce as an 8. I think he says Beyonce is an 8. He says Kelly Rowland is a 9.
I would agree.
And then everybody else, So I think he asked her that question, and she responded with, "I'm a PhD." What that got to do with what you look like? So it turned out to be a very tumultuous call, and he isolated that I'm a PhD, and he uses it all the time. It's funny. I invite everyone to go and check out Mr. Kevin Samuels on YouTube. He has an immense following. He's easy to find. And it's goddamn entertainment.
Yeah. I can say I can kind of feel the heat now from women watching, like, oh, what? Some of this stuff is, I mean, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I have to say that. And also, beauty is also fleeting. So is income. You know what I mean? If that's what you're basing your qualifications and what's the most important, you're in for an interesting ride, because a dude making that much money could lose it as well. Then what?
For sure. Absolutely. You know what I agree. So, I mean, it's got to be something more than looks and money, Right. Ability and desire to earn.
Right.
I'll tell another ex-girlfriend story, and then we can shut this down because I lost my camera.
All right.
I think I mentioned on here, I dated the surgeon.
Yes.
And she made 3 to 4 times as much money as I did. That didn't bother me at all.
She was a surgeon. Shit.
She was a surgeon, right? We would often get into it about all kinds of shit, but money in the future was an issue. Mm. And I would tell her, you could lose your job and not be earning. And in fact, when I met her, she wasn't working. So she wasn't earning shit when I met her. I was like, you could lose your job and stop earning. You could get hit with a malpractice suit and lose and be fucked.
Right.
And yes, you make that much more than me, but your income to debt ratio, you still paying for med school. So, stop focusing so much on what I make and my desire, and then instead focus on my desire to go and make it. I get up and get in the fight every day for less money than you. So obviously the money ain't what's waking me up.
Right.
I'm always going to earn. I'm always going to work because I want to do it. Maybe you should love that part.
Message.
Anyway.
I have to get that. Message.
She's married.
All right.
She's married now. I know she's married and she has children because she fake called me one day last year.
She wanted you to see this. Or you got to see what you missed.
No, I think it was probably more of my life sucks. I wonder what's up with you over there.
Oh boy.
My phone rang and I immediately knew her voice. I didn't know the number when I saw it. I was like, I don't know this number, but I answered it. And she, I'm looking for Michael Long, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is this Michael Long? And I said, no, this is not Michael Long. You got the wrong number. And she says, oh, is this Michael Williams? I said, oh, I almost said her name. Woo!
We can beep it if you do. That actually might be funny to beep it anyway, but go ahead.
Fuck it. I'll just say the name and then beep it. I said, this is your ex, Mike Smith. Oh, hey, how are you? What's going on? And I was like, nigga, you knew you pulled up my phone number and dialed my damn phone number. Stop.
I was looking for a different Michael or what Michael is. Wow, that's interesting. Okay.
Look, she was a great surgeon, but she was never that clever. I'm just being honest.
She wasn't a brain surgeon? Is that what you're trying to say?
Actually, she worked way below the equator. But yeah, I chatted with her and she told me how she was doing or whatever. And then she started texting a little bit after that. And I was like, oh, I see what this is. And I just kind of stopped talking to her.
Side piece material. There was a side piece application. See if you was with it.
No, thank you.
That's what that was. We identify anyway. We got respect the side piece hustle. I get it. I don't subscribe to it, folks, just in case you were wondering. And in case my wife is watching. Hey, honey. But no.
You said in case, like she's not.
I know better. I understand. Nah, my wife trusts me, and she laughs hard at the shit that I say. And always, I've said this before, she always, in fact, she was watching a clip the other day when we had Kathy Sledge on. And when I said the sound, the whole, if you haven't seen, you either go back and watch that episode with Kathy Sledge. It's fascinating.
We'll put it in the card right there.
Yeah.
Click it and it'll take you to it.
But when I say, sounds like my mantra when I was single, my wife, she shook her head and goes, why are you this way? I can't believe. See, and then she went on further to say, and I married you. I said, yes, you did. You knew what was up. No backsies.
Ha, you stuck now.
Right. We here now. Hey, folks, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We will continue some exclusive content in the after show. So if you're watching, stay tuned and click the next button and you'll see the after show. If you're listening, you need to get over to unpopinshow.com, hit the videos and find the after show, and you can see and hear what we're talking about. Again, thank you to my mom and my brother Elliot for unknowingly calling in while doing the show. And we appreciate you listening and watching. If you're listening or watching for the first time, please make sure you subscribe and tell a friend. And we have some goodies, some neck gaiters with Unpopin on it. We'll give to you if you subscribe and DM us and let us know where you want us to send it. Send it absolutely free.
So they subscribe over on YouTube. Subscribe, like, comment, hit the notification bell. Please do that. You'll be entered in a drawing for $100 when we hit 100 subscribers. But wasn't my point to say that. You can't inbox us on YouTube. Right. So shoot us an email.
There you go.
Shoot us an email. And we are
Unpopinshow
at Gmail. Yeah.
Unpoppin. Matter of fact, I don't know. I'm sure Mike can put the somewhere in here. Somewhere. It's somewhere down here. Like, yeah. See what the email is. Once again, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And be safe out there. We'll see you next time.
Peace. Need a daily dose of jokes? Like, subscribe, smash the notification button, and you'll get jokes in your inbox basically every week.
Absolutely. Because we like cats. No, that's the wrong. God damn it.